Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover. Let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college, the NFL. We hope to earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of the Bears-Rams game. What are your initial thoughts?
That's not how that game was supposed to end.
Oh, man. I'm so, we don't always pull for one team versus another in some of these games because we only have so many favorite teams. But I really wanted Chicago to win because after that miraculous touchdown throw at the end, it could have gone down as one of like the best throws all time in like NFL playoffs. But it won't be now because they didn't win the game. And so it'll still be a big highlight throw, but it just could have meant so much more if they just could have found a way to win and kicked a field goal in overtime.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that a play that crazy just is a footnote now in a loss.
Yeah. That's
So,
crazy. That's a
yeah.
really good way of putting it because it was
Yeah.
like he was running straight backwards. You should not throw that ball. He knew he was going to sort of turn left or turn right, but the defenders were in a great place. You always tell them like, don't let them break contain. Like you got to keep and the defenders did a great job of that, so that he could only go straight back. You should not throw that ball. There's only a handful of people that have ever played in the NFL that could physically make that throw with just arm strength going backwards to travel that much in the air.
And he hit him in the hands.
In the corner of the end zone. It was and a tight end too. Like it's not like it was so anyway.
I mean, that's what Mahomes and Allen.
Oh, it's a crazy throw. Like
Who else could make that play who has enough arm strength, enough wiggle, enough awareness to do that? Probably that's it. Those three.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Maybe if there's another one, I'm not thinking of it right now. But
No,
those ones
that's the only things I can
those are
think
the
of.
obvious ones to me that could do that.
Yeah.
Like as good as a player like Burrow is, I'm not sure he's powerful enough to do that going backwards.
No, this was a great game. I love watching this game. There was good defense, it was good offense, there was some excellent plays. It's just executed really well.
Yeah. Now on that final play, it looked like, and I don't know how they glossed over this. They reviewed it once. It was DJ Moore he was looking for, who looked like he was just dogging it.
Oh, no way, really?
Just jogging. Right. So the interception in overtime, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So when he throws the ball, he's throwing what he thinks is going to be like a kind of a crossing route.
Yeah.
So on the replay, they only showed it once. It's Moore's crossing, right? They're like, where's he even throwing this? Yeah. And when you see the replay, and they only showed it once, and they never mentioned it at all on the broadcast, which I thought was surprising, is Moore is just jogging. Well, they kind of do. They're like, oh, Moore looks like he doesn't even think he was going to throw it to him. But there is no play in the playbook, and there is no coach who will ever tell you, just jog.
Yeah.
Like even if you're like the third or fourth read, how about this? Even if your responsibility is the clear out route. So the ball's never coming to you. Your job is to draw the safety
defenders
and take a couple defenders with you to clear space underneath. You don't jog that route. There's no jogging. No receiver.
No.
There is no route where you just jog it. That doesn't exist in a playbook. It just doesn't exist. So when he's just jogging across the field and Williams sees him cutting across, and I don't know if he gears down halfway through or whenever it is, but Williams throws it expecting like by the time the ball gets there, he'll get there. Instead, you just on the replay, he's just sort of, it's like, what the hell are you doing? And like, you're supposed to be the number one. Loveland's out. You're the you should, regardless if Loveland's
had the most targets on the game, like after Loveland.
Regardless if Loveland's in, you're the veteran number one wide receiver. Loveland's a goddamn rookie tight end.
Yeah.
You're the primary receiver on this team. And the critical play of the game, you're in overtime, you're just dogging it on whatever route you're running. What are you doing? Like if you were running full speed, maybe you could at least play defense there if it was a bad pass and bat it down.
Yeah.
If it wasn't going to hit you in the hands.
Because he was so out of position, the defender is just covering the man. And when the man starts jogging, then it allows the defender to find the ball because at that point it's in the air. And so then the defender is now running the route now that the wide receiver wasn't. So so I think if he just ran that out and never even attempted to catch the ball, the defender wouldn't have in that place because A, he wouldn't have been in a position to catch it, but B, wouldn't have seen it because he still would have been defending the wide receiver. So
all right. So let's try to play devil's advocate. So because right now I'm just dumping on Moore because it in my percent, and now we don't know what the play call is. We don't know where the reads are. We don't know where their landmarks are. Maybe Williams threw it too wide, and maybe it's a read situation where when he crosses, you can do the whole, I feel the defenders further. I'm just going to gear down and you hit me here in the middle. Like I'm going to gear down almost like a stop route where you stop running and you hit me in the middle versus keep going. That could be a thing where, you know how like Kelsey just kind of finds a spot and he just settles in.
Yeah. What I think this is, if I had to guess, was that it's designed for the ball to come out quicker. And so once it hasn't come out, then Moore's like, oh, it's the play's over or it's not coming to me. So that's what I felt like. It didn't feel like a zone thing. It just felt like I should get it now. I don't have it. Nope. Like then it's not coming. So
it wasn't on time. He was buying time at that point.
Yeah. And it's like, or maybe out of the corner of his eye, he thought that Williams was going to get hit or something. I don't know. And then, cause then it's like really not coming your way, but it was really clear. You rarely see a defender be able to track a ball down like that. And it's because he was able to see it, then he wasn't guarding the man as much. Right. So
even in that scenario, Moore still gave up on the play.
No, I know. That's if he didn't, that's what I was saying. That's my point, is that the defender never would have been in a position to do that.
It was clearly there's a miscommunication on that play because Williams threw it with quite a bit of confidence that like that's where he's like, oh, I got this. Like because it's not like there was a defender draped all over him where he had to let it go at that moment. He had some space. He still could have took off with his legs. Mm-hmm. So clearly he saw something, was like, oh, Moore's got this. Like there's space here. So I'd be reluctant to think that Williams threw it in the wrong spot on a poor decision. To me, it just looked like Moore geared down and was just, this play's over. I couldn't be bothered to run through it.
That guy the defender had a great game. That was Curl. He had 13 tackles, which is unbelievable for a defensive back. He had 2 pass deflections. He had a QB hit and an interception. So he had a full stat line from that game. So that's off to him. He played great.
And on that note, giving some flowers to defenders, the Bears had a couple. Jaquan Brisker had a completely outstanding game,
all over the place, and they were calling it on the broadcast too, like how it's defending like the pass, but also the run and blitzing. Like he was all over the place.
And Kyler Gordon had an amazing game on defense. I mean, lots of guys on there deep, but those two, I remember those two. I kept thinking, is that number 9 again? Is that number 6 again? Like those two were just going off in the secondary, having great games. So yeah. So as good as that fadeaway pass thing in the end zone to Kmet was that interception was, again, I just don't think that one's on Williams. My bias is towards blaming Moore for that one.
Yeah, for sure. And Cam Curl, shout out to him, 7th round pick. We talk a lot about when you draft players and people stepping up, and 7th round out of Arkansas. So
and that's a thing. Okay, that's actually a good transition to talk about the Rams. They're back here because they've nailed it in the draft the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
Like that's why that defense is built on just stellar draft picks after they lost. Well, after the Super Bowl winning defense dismantled either because of retirement, like Aaron Donald retired. Von Miller, I always forget the guy's name, the defensive back number 5. He's Ramsey. A bunch of guys are gone now off the Super Bowl winning defense. And my assumption was, that'll take them a while to rebuild. No, very next year they rebuilt with like just home run draft picks. And then on offense, Puka Nacua was, who knew you were drafting what is probably the next best receiver. Like it's like a perfect fit for the offense too.
Yeah, and he was targeted 10 times at 5 catches. Like I think they were really trying to take him away because they definitely didn't go to him for like about a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
So, 5th round pick Puka Nacua out of BYU.
Yeah. And there you go. And that's the thing. These aren't first round draft picks that are the nucleus of this team. They just hit all over the place in all different rounds to rebuild the Rams. And the window's still open. You still have an MVP Super Bowl caliber quarterback. So they just put what you need around them. That defensive line's nasty.
Kyren Williams was a 5th round pick out of Notre Dame. He had over 100 yards in this game.
There you go. So, and Landman, they just picked up Landman out of nowhere, who was, I don't know, backup and all of a sudden he's a starting linebacker, going to get starting linebacker money now. So like even just some acquisitions were just
not
hit.
drafted.
Just hit.
I don't think.
Well, no, but and they got him. Yeah. They picked him up from somewhere else where he was just buried on the squad. So they were just hit. They just hit on draft picks and acquisitions.
Layman
kind of like how the
average,
Patriots did.
Layman above average show too.
Above average show,
good,
yeah.
Good linebacker.
Great name. I thought that would be a cool team name for a new team out of Texas, the Landmen.
That would be good,
right? Something.
That's true.
All the animals are taken, all the birds are taken.
Right. Yeah,
right?
and weird stuff like the Heat or the Wild. Like you don't need anything
none of those ones that don't end without an S. It has to. I guess Landmen doesn't. Yeah.
But that's a good one.
Yeah. Something. There you go. Somebody's got to make a team like that.
Yeah. No, but listen, the Rams were there. They took advantage of the interception late, which is what a good team's supposed to do. Chicago looked like they were driving and in a position to win this. And it's just one too many mistakes. And I don't think, and it's, Williams is unfortunate as that interception was. I think he was still playing within himself. Like these weren't Stroud interceptions. Like they were, they weren't brutal throws, most of them. So it's just so bad. Cause like that was such a great pass to the tight end in the end zone. And then now we're with this, the Rams.
Well, he had 3 picks. That one ended the game. The first one was kind of inconsequential. They were in the red zone and he threw a pick. So
yeah,
5-yard difference from if they just turned it over on downs. That's the other thing. Okay, here we go with my pet peeve again. The Ben Johnson's reluctance to take points when there's points to be taken, and it happened again. And I don't understand. I clearly haven't done enough research or watched and read enough about whatever it is that they come up with their analytic reason why to do this. It seems annoyingly consistent that I can watch a game and think, oh, why didn't you take the 3 points? Why didn't you take the 3 points? And by the end of the game, there was maybe 2 or 3 opportunities to take and reasonable punts, not long punts, like, sorry, not punts, kicks, like
kicks,
30-yarders, 35-yarders, 40-yarders, stuff that the NFL, even in bad conditions, these kickers can kind of hit those. And by the end of this game, they lose by 3 points, and there was an easy opportunity for six extra points in this game that they just didn't get because of going for it. And 6 points in a 3-point game would have been real nice. They probably would have won. Yeah. And instead, it's just go for it thing. And maybe I'm naive, and somebody in the comments could tell me like, oh, you're missing the point. Like you have to go for it. But all I see is 6 points you don't have in a game you lost by 3. It's like, what? How is? And early in the game, I get later in the game. There is like a point thing. It's like, oh, we have to go for the touchdown because they're just going to burn the clock out. But in the first half, maybe even in the first 3 quarters, when there are points to be had and you don't get them, because you do not know how close this game's going to be later, more points is always more points.
Yeah. And what's hard about that, too, is that it's not like the Rams were driving up and down the field at that point, and it felt like, we can't, field goals are going to lose it and touchdowns are going to be needed to win it. Like it's not like that. And even though it's just 3 points, if you end up scoring like again, or you stop the other team from scoring, like all of a sudden that, if you get a touchdown, that is 10 point. Like now it's a 2-score thing. And that really changes the game when it's within 3 points or within 7 points, it's a 1-score game. And that changes how you have to do stuff. If it's 2-score, now you need 2 possessions, to do it instead of 1. So even though it's just 3 points, like if it, that's why all the points are important, because it'll be that's what you need. So, but I don't know. It was, I'm with you. It's always, again, it's really easy. Hindsight's 20/20, and it's easy to, like, if they convert the 4th down or something, that it feels really different. But man, it's just in a low scoring game, walking away without points on more than one possession is really sucks.
Every drive should end in a kick.
Yes.
It's either a punt, an extra point, or a field goal. It should never be a turnover on downs. And this happens way too often now in this new NFL. Maybe this is a cycle, and they'll cycle out of it and go back to getting the just starting taking the points again. I remember a couple of years ago during the Commanders' Jane Daniels rookie season where they won 12 games, they won a game just on kicks. They had 7 or 8 kicks. The whole game was just kicks, and it was still they still had 20-something points just from kicks. I mean, the Bears only got 17 points in this game.
No, and I'm
whatever they
surprised
got here.
now, whatever they show the, like the, it's a 4th down and they're like, it's anything less than 6 or below, like the odd, like the analytics say to go for it. And you're like, really? Like 4th and 6 and 4th and 4, like that's automatic? Like I'm surprised how much they go for it too. I don't get it, but.
Well, we have, okay, so just in this game, the Bears get 0 on the first drive, and because they turn over on downs in the red zone. That's, I guess maybe I'm overestimating the probability of a field goal, but that's got to be super high in the like a red zone field goal, like a deep red zone field goal.
Now I would put, like, if you're within the 5-yard line, like between the 0 and 5-yard line, you go for it on 4th down. That is, I have less of a problem with that just because.
Well, no, I think they were within the 10, not the 5.
Perfect. So my point is, if they're within the 5, I have less of a problem with it, because like you're forcing the other team to go 95 yards, which is highly unlikely. So that was the only exception.
And they went 85 yards and scored a touchdown.
Right.
My thought is the reverse. This is almost a guaranteed 3 points. You're not even introducing the idea of missing the field goal.
Yeah.
So there's 3 points they don't get. LA scores a touchdown. They respond with a touchdown, but then later in the second quarter, they have another turnover on downs because they go for it on 4th down at the 32. That's another makeable field goal in the first half. And at the time we're 7-7. Why not go ahead? Like, why not? What are you doing? Why not go ahead? And then finally, after missing 2 field goals, you finally kick one on your next drive. So all I can see is 6 points left on the table in the first half in a tie game, when you don't know how high the score is going to go. You don't know how big the margin. How many playoff games are decided by more than just one possession?
Yeah, not many. And so the Bears went 9 for 19 on 3rd down, which I feel like is a pretty good percentage.
Good.
They went 3 for 6 on 4th down, and that's going for it 6 times on 4th down feels like a lot, right? To your point, right? Because a couple of just 2 of those being field goals would have been the difference in the game.
Like, I get it in the 4th quarter when it's 17-10 and now you have to go for it.
Yeah, or 45-40 and it's whoever has the ball last is going to, like one of those games. I could see
that.
It
should have never got to that point, because if you kick the 2 field goals, we're talking 17-16, and now all you need is a field goal to win.
Yep.
Like that whole, it doesn't change anything because 2 field goals is still only 1 score. No, it does change something, because the next score is 3 wins.
Right.
Here, you're stuck. Now you have to go for it.
Yeah. Or if you end up getting a touchdown in another possession, which you're sort of hoping you're banking on anyway, but it's like, then it's a 2-score game. So
when did this all change? I thought, I mean, especially now that these guys can kick field goals from anywhere.
Yeah. I think it is this, like, I don't know. I mean, it's part of the analytics thing. And when you can factor in all the percentage, the chance of converting on a 4th down versus the chance of scoring more points or something like that. Like, and I can see how you could calculate it, but it's just, I feel like also in that scenario, the games you lose feel differently than if you're like, you know what I mean?
There's an ebb and flow to the game. Okay, maybe I'm a traditionalist. To me, there's a feel for the game, a feel for how the other coach is coaching. Like at this point, you had Nakua bottled up.
Well, and you're right about the ebb and flow and the momentum, because that is actually a thing, right? So when you stop a team from scoring, that gives you some momentum. Instead, if they get a field goal, like they got some points, like so that that's not factored into the analytics.
And going ahead is still going ahead.
Yes,
and now you introduce the concept to them. You might actually back them off from going for it. They might think, "Oh, we'll match that field goal." I don't know, whatever it is. I don't understand why they're thinking this way, but it's completely frustrating to watch teams constantly leave points on the board.
We got a couple minutes left here, so what are your last thoughts about the Rams?
It's hard to bet against Stafford. It really is. As good as the Seahawks is, I mean, I don't know how you bet against this team. After coming back from this, I don't know.
Yeah. First of all, I'm really excited for the Seattle Rams, that game, less so for the Denver New England game because Bo Nix is out now.
Right.
But like that's a great matchup. And it'd be hard to, I think he looks like vintage Stafford. which is going to be good
He's
enough.
The most experienced quarterback left. You kind of have to bet on him to go all the way.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all I got on my notes. So, well, if you're still with us, we appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you like what we have going on and you'd like to support us, just a like and a subscribe would go a long way, and we'd really appreciate it. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barbin, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.